Hi there, I'm Diellza.
And I'm Julien. In this video, we will be talking about urban growth. We will start by giving some insight about how it starts, what does it mean, and how it works. At the end, you will be given the option to comment. Please use it. Diellza and I will be more than thrilled to read them and see what you think. Welcome to the year 2050. This is how our cities look like currently. At least, most of them. This is a study done back in 2018 to predict this year's population living in urbanized areas. Today, 2 out of 3 people live in a city. To understand better how we got here, we should go back in time to the year 2018 to see what actually got us to this specific point.
Our cities are growing very fast. According to the International Organization for Migration, nowadays around 3 million people are moving to the cities every week. So around 54% of people worldwide live in cities. This is causing urban growth, which refers to any type of growth of the urban environment, like population, land area, and intensive land use. Let us tell you the story of one of those people who moved into a city.
Have you met Aaron? Aaron is a 26-year-old man from Ethiopia. He lives in a town called Galila. The people there mainly count on agriculture to survive. His father is a farmer, and he used to help him with farming. Long story short, Aaron got bored from this lifestyle and wanted something different. And so, Aaron was confused if he should move to another rural area or to a big city like Addis, for instance. Then he got this amazing idea. Let's see what his friends have to say about that. Even though his friends encouraged him to leave Galila and move to Addis, yet they had very different motives. Some pushed him to leave the rural areas, since they suffer from climate change resulting in poor crops, while others told him that the land his father is using won't be enough to sustain him and his brother's families later on. And some friends even brought up the absence of services and medical care in the rural areas. On the other hand, some people tried to pull him towards the city by presenting the opportunities that the informal sector could offer, such as jobs and cheap shopping, while others argued the good infrastructure and services the urban areas will provide. Finally, and most importantly, Aaron was really tempted, especially when he heard about all the employment opportunities his friends talked about in the city. All of those factors combined could be reasons behind urban growth. They are also known as the push and pull factors of the rural-urban migration. The second cause behind urban growth is the natural population growth, especially in this decade.
Therefore, the phenomena of urban growth has a process, and it depends on people's choices and decisions. In this case, in Aaron's decision. Since he will settle down in a big city, he has to decide where he exactly wants to settle. And any decision he might take will affect the urban form. Aaron can choose to settle near a street, define his boundary and build a house, have a garden and live happily with his family there. Or he can settle in a defined plot in the outskirts of the city and build a house or buy one and live there happily. Maybe he wants to go to the city center, but there he might not afford a house. But he has still options. He can move in an apartment alone or move in with friends, so he can split the costs at least. It is all about his choices how the city will be shaped. So if he settles down near a street, the city could expand spontaneously, since it is self-organized by individuals. If he settles down in a defined plot, following the planned infrastructure, he would still cause urban growth. And if he settles down in a building, he will increase the population density of the city, which is a form of urban growth. But however, this is not that simple, since there are so many other things that Aaron can consider. Despite his house, he considers also the distribution of other functions in the city and how he can get to these places. He considers public transport, school, hospitals, commercial zones, etc. On the other hand, there is not only Aaron who is coming to the city. There are also industries, different companies, shopping centers, which have different needs. And the city grows according to their choices and decisions too. Nevertheless, there are also planners as actors in this theory. They might not control the people and their choices, but they can influence their decisions by planning, by making a place more attractive, providing accessibility, infrastructure, pedestrian infrastructure, roads, public transport, power supplies. But still, even if planners offer all the needed infrastructure and attractiveness to a place, it is only up to the people how the city will grow.
Here are some good examples of features that attract people to live near or in a certain place. The pedestrian infrastructure in Barcelona makes it easy to move around by foot. Therefore, people don't need a car. The low tax rate in Cheyenne encourages people to work there, ergo, live there. The UCF in Florida is one of the biggest universities in the USA, providing only around 20% of housing for students. This pushes students to live next to campus or in the same city. Coming back to Aaron. As he moved to the city, on his first day, he realized that it wasn't only him heading to Addis, but there was a lot more people coming for different reasons. To investigate this more, Aaron Googled satellite images from 3 different times, and he noticed that with time Addis expanded over and over until it reached twice its size in a matter of 10 years. For when a city expands accordingly, we can talk about urban sprawl, one of the main outcomes of urban growth. This exercise should help us better understand how tricky measuring and noticing urban growth can be. On the screen, you can see 2 satellite images of city A and city B. Could you tell which one has the higher density ratio? Or maybe they are similar in terms of density. If you need more time to think, please pause the video and write your answer as a comment. The correct answer is city B. Actually, city B is the Goutte d'Or in Paris. It has twice the density as city A, Vestebro, Copenhagen. It wasn't so easy, was it?
To study the urban expansion and its impact on the ambient environment have been developed urban growth models. They help to predict, to know the consequences, so we can make better decisions and designs. The empirical observed urban structures are the concentric zone model, the sector model, and the multiple nuclei. All these models have emerged by location choices of people. But earlier urban model systems were generally based on deterministic solution algorithms such as spatial interactions or spatial input-output, but they don't contain information of all the alternative locations in the metropolitan area, transaction being costless and markets being perfectly competitive. So the need to have better urban growth models made people develop other ones. This one, for example, is a basic land use prototype model that we did, which shows a simple urban growth where the actors, in this case housing, commercial, services like school, hospitals, and transportation, are interdependent and influence each other. By claiming the factors where this land use prefers to locate, we can know what to expect from a city, how it will grow in different scenarios. If we add a street, an industrial place, commercial places, etc., what will be its impact to the city? How will it change the urban form? There are a lot of professional modeling methodologies. One of them is the Urban Sim, which is a simulation system for supporting planning and analysis of urban development, incorporating the interactions between land use, transportation, the economy, and the environment. The Austrian Institute of Technology has developed another tool to simulate urban expansion, the Urban Infrastructure Development Simulator, which is used to support urban planning decisions, performs urban growth simulation, and can estimate related infrastructure costs. Another one is Urban Footprint, which is a location intelligence software for smart cities, which streamlines urban planning and mobility decisions, where you can measure and analyze the future of a place.
Last but not least, we summed up the main ideas that were mentioned in the video. Let's read them together. Urban growth is a complex process, since it correlates with different urban factors. Urban planners can only influence urban growth to some extent. urban growth is hard to control. Rural-urban migration is the main cause of urban growth. Urban sprawl is one of the biggest consequences of urban growth. Urban modules are a tool to forecast the city's growth. Now that we have some knowledge about urban growth, let's try to answer some questions Diellza and I prepared. Will we ever generate an urban module so precise it includes all factors which can influence people's decision, their likes and dislikes? How can developing countries observe and learn from the urban growth rate which developed countries are undergoing? Will adding food space, such as agriculture and farming, to the city and services to the rural areas be a promising solution for urban growth-related issues?